right, so Ethereum, It's taken a pretty big hit recently, down 23% to a 5-month low. And everyone's wondering what's going on.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride.
You guys sent over this fascinating article from Crypto.news about it. So let's unpack this Ethereum plunge together and see what we can learn.
Sounds good.
So right off the bat, the article points to all this trade war tension, Trump's tariff announcements and things like that. It seems like the market spooked that these tariffs could spark inflation and then maybe lead to interest rate hikes.
Right, and that fear is definitely rippling through the crypto world, especially for Ethereum.
Yeah, I mean, when investors get nervous, they tend to pull back from riskier assets. And I guess crypto is often seen as one of those, unfortunately.
Absolutely. Crypto often takes the hardest hit in those situations.
The article mentions that Ethereum just experienced its biggest liquidation event in 2 years.
Yeah, it's rough out there right now. Over $475 million wiped out from long positions, and open interest in Ethereum's futures market has crashed by 27%.
Wow, those are some scary numbers.
It is a pretty stark picture of the uncertainty and fear gripping the market, that's for sure.
Does the article say anything about how people are feeling about Ethereum right now?
It does, actually. It mentions weighted social sentiment.
Ah, so like the overall mood.
Exactly, and it's definitely taken a nosedive.
So not only are the numbers bad, but people are feeling pretty pessimistic too.
It seems that way.
What about the technical analysis? Do the charts offer any insights?
Not great news there either. I'm afraid Ethereum has fallen below both its 50-day and 200-day moving averages, which is generally a bearish signal.
I see, so not looking so good from a technical perspective.
And then we have this thing called the Arun indicator, and that's also pointing towards potential further losses.
Hold on. For those of us who might not be expert chart readers,
Sure.
What's the Arun indicator telling us?
So basically, it's a way to measure the strength of a trend. And right now, for Ethereum, it's suggesting that the downward trend is pretty strong.
So yeah, things are looking pretty rough all around.
Yeah.
Is there any glimmer of hope in all this?
There might be. Even amidst all the negative signals, the Relative Strength Index, or RSI, is flashing an oversold signal.
Okay, so for our viewers on CoinTalk Podcast who aren't fluent in technical jargon, what does that actually mean?
Think of it like this. When the RSI shows oversold, it's like the market is saying, hey, we might have overreacted a bit. Like maybe the price has dropped more than it should have.
Interesting. So even with all these negative signals, the RSI is hinting that a rebound could be on the horizon.
Potentially, yes.
Okay.
And there's something else, too. Over $326 million worth of ETH has been pulled off exchanges in the last 3 days.
Really?
Yeah. It seems like investors are seeing this dip as a buying opportunity.
Ah, the classic buy low, sell high strategy.
Exactly. They're hoping to stock up on ETH at a discount.
But who are these brave souls diving into this dip? Is it just everyday investors?
It seems like even the whales, those holding massive amounts of crypto, are joining the party. The article highlights one whale who just scooped up a whopping 35,494 ETH. That's almost $88 million.
Wow, talk about a vote of confidence. That must be pretty bullish on Ethereum's future.
It seems that way. And there's another whale mentioned who just bought $1 million worth of ETH after holding onto their DAI stablecoin for 2.5 years.
So they've been waiting for the right moment to jump in.
And it looks like they see this dip as their chance.
Okay, so we've got this mix of fear and opportunity swirling around Ethereum. Some are running for the hills, while others are seeing this as a chance to buy the dip. What are the experts saying about all of this?
Well, the article quotes Georgy Verbitsky, founder of TYMIO, and he thinks a short-term bounce back to $2,700 is possible,
Okay.
especially if the market calms down a bit. But he also cautions that without some positive news or developments, ETH might struggle to keep up with Bitcoin.
That's an interesting point. It seems like Ethereum's fate might be tied to Bitcoin's performance in the short term.
Could be. The article also mentions analyst Ali Martinez, who points out an interesting pattern on the 3-day chart, something called an ascending parallel channel.
Okay, for our viewers on CoinTalk Podcast, break that down for us. What does that mean and why should we care?
Sure. An ascending parallel channel is basically a pattern where the price of an asset bounces between two upward sloping trend lines. And if ETH can hold above the $2,750 support level within this channel, Martinez believes it could potentially skyrocket to $6,760.
Wow, that's a massive potential gain.
It is.
Of course, we always encourage our viewers on CoinTalk Podcast to do their own research, but it's definitely a prediction worth watching.
For sure.
Now, before we move on to the next part of our deep dive, I want to remind everyone watching that if you're enjoying this breakdown of Ethereum's wild ride,
Yes.
be sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a like. We've got tons of great crypto content coming your way, so stay tuned.
And don't forget to leave a comment below and tell us what you think about Ethereum's future. We love hearing from our community.
All right, let's jump into the next part of our Ethereum deep dive, where we'll explore.
You know, you mentioned something earlier. I think we should unpack a little more, this whole risk-off sentiment.
Yeah, it's a term you hear thrown around a lot, especially in times like these.
Right.
But for those tuning into CoinTalk Podcast who might be new to investing, can you break it down for us? What does risk-off actually mean in plain English?
So it's basically a shift in investor behavior, you know, when they move away from assets that are perceived as risky and they kind of seek out safer havens.
Okay, so they're looking for calmer waters.
Exactly. Like imagine a storm brewing at sea. Sailors are going to batten down the hatches and head for a safer harbor.
Okay, I like that analogy. So in the financial world, what are some of those safe havens that investors run to during a risk-off period?
Well, historically, assets like government bonds, gold, even the US dollar, those are considered safer bets during uncertain times. They're less likely to lose value compared to stocks or, in this case, cryptocurrencies.
Right, so when investors hear news like these trade war tariffs and they get nervous about the economy, they dump their riskier assets, and that includes crypto. But here's what I'm wondering. Why does crypto seem to react so much more dramatically than, say, the stock market?
That's a great question. There are a couple of reasons. First, the crypto market is still relatively young compared to traditional markets. It's got a smaller market cap, fewer institutional investors, so even relatively small trades can cause big price swings.
Right, like a small boat in rough seas.
Exactly. And another thing is that the crypto market never sleeps.
It's always on.
Always. It's open 24/7, unlike traditional stock exchanges. So any news or event, good or bad, can have an immediate impact on prices, even in the middle of the night.
That definitely explains those crazy price spikes and crashes we see.
For sure.
Okay, so for our CoinTalk Podcast viewers, let's bring this back to Ethereum. We've talked about the negative sentiment, the technical indicators, but what makes ETH particularly vulnerable in this risk-off environment?
I think a key factor is Ethereum's connection to the DeFi ecosystem, decentralized finance. A lot of that DeFi activity happens on the Ethereum blockchain, and DeFi relies heavily on something called leverage.
Okay, for those who aren't deep into DeFi, explain that a bit more. Why does this matter in a risk-off situation?
So leverage basically lets you amplify your bets by borrowing money. It's great when things are going up.
Right.
But when the market turns south, those leverage positions can get liquidated very quickly, and that triggers even more selling. It can cause this cascading effect.
So it's like a domino effect of selling pressure, and Ethereum gets caught right in the middle of it.
Exactly. And that brings us back to those massive liquidations we talked about earlier. Nearly $500 million wiped out from those long positions in Ethereum. Leverage definitely played a big role in that.
Okay, so things are looking pretty bleak right now. But, as we always like to do on CoinTalk Podcast, let's look at both sides of the coin here.
Of course.
What potential opportunities might this Ethereum dip present?
Well, this is where that dip buying strategy comes in. Investors are basically betting that all the fear and negativity have pushed the price down too far.
They see it as a bargain.
Exactly. They're buying low, hoping to sell high when and if the market recovers.
And we're seeing this with those large ETH withdrawals from exchanges, especially by those whales who are accumulating during the dip. They're putting their money where their mouth is, basically.
Yeah, it's like they're saying, we believe in Ethereum for the long haul, and we're not letting this temporary setback scare us away.
So for someone watching CoinTalk Podcast right now thinking, okay, this dip buying thing sounds interesting, but how do I know if this is actually a good buy? What are some things to consider?
I'd say first look at Ethereum's fundamentals, you know? Are there new developments or upgrades in the works? Is the network growing? Those are good signs.
It's not just about the price.
Exactly. Look at the technology, the potential. What else? Oh, monitor the overall market sentiment. Are people starting to feel more positive?
Yeah, is the fear starting to fade?
Sentiment can really sway the price, so watch for any signs that the market might be turning around.
And of course, we always encourage our CoinTalk Podcast viewers to do their own research and not just blindly follow anyone's advice, including ours.
Absolutely. Do your homework. There are lots of resources out there to help you understand Ethereum, its potential, and the risks involved.
Knowledge is power, especially in the crypto world. And if you're considering investing, make sure you really understand what you're getting into and have a good plan.
Couldn't agree more.
Speaking of plans, What are some specific strategies that investors might consider when looking at this Ethereum dip? We talked about dip buying, but are there other ways to capitalize in this situation?
There are. One popular strategy is dollar cost averaging. Invest a fixed amount of money at regular intervals, no matter what the price. This helps you average out your entry point over time and kind of smooths out those price swings.
It takes the emotion out of it.
Exactly. And another strategy for more experienced traders is swing trading. It's all about trying to capture those short to medium term price swings.
So buying low, selling high, but within a shorter time frame.
Right, looking for those technical indicators and chart patterns that suggest a potential price move. It's a more active approach, though, definitely requires careful analysis and risk management.
Not for the faint of heart.
No, definitely not. And no matter what strategy you choose, it's crucial to remember that no investment strategy is foolproof. Crypto is inherently risky, and there's always a chance you could lose money.
Good reminder.
Never invest more than you can afford to lose, and always have a clear exit strategy.
Risk management is key, especially in the crypto world.
Absolutely.
Okay, before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I want to give a shout out to our amazing CoinTalk Podcast community.
Yes.
If you're enjoying this episode, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more great crypto content.
And don't forget to leave a comment below and share this video with your friends. We love hearing from you guys and spreading the crypto knowledge.
All right, let's move on to our final segment where so we've covered a lot today, global events, dip buying strategies, all that.
Yeah, we've been through a lot.
But let's zoom out for a second, think big picture. Where does Ethereum fit into all of this? I mean, Bitcoin's still king of the crypto hill, right?
Yeah, right. It's interesting, Bitcoin is often seen as digital gold, a store of value, while Ethereum is more like a platform for innovation.
Yeah, Ethereum's smart contracts and dApps are really changing the game in so many industries. Finance, gaming, art, you name it.
And it's constantly evolving, which is exciting.
Definitely. So it seems like Ethereum's future isn't just about the price, but about its ability to keep innovating.
Absolutely attract developers, users, the whole ecosystem. It's a race to build the most robust, scalable, user-friendly blockchain platform out there.
Right. It's not just about being a digital piggy bank like Bitcoin.
No, it's about building a whole new world of possibilities,
It's like comparing a chunk of gold to a factory that can create endless new products.
Exactly. And the energy behind Ethereum is amazing. The community is so passionate, always pushing the limits of blockchain technology.
Yeah, you can really feel that energy online at conferences. People are true believers.
Definitely. But let's be real, Ethereum has its challenges too. Scalability has been a big one. High gas fees, network congestion.
Yeah, those gas fees can be a real pain.
Like a toll booth on the Ethereum highway. But the good news is the community is working hard on solutions. Layer 2 scaling solutions like Optimism, Arbitrum, and Ethereum 2.0 is coming with its proof-of-stake system that should boost scalability and lower those gas fees.
So it's a waiting game.
It is.
But the future seems promising for Ethereum, overcoming those hurdles. And that's what makes it such a fascinating investment. It's high risk, high reward, but with that passionate community and commitment to innovation, Ethereum could be a major player in the future of, everything, really. Finance, technology, you name it.
Oh, for sure. And remember, we're still so early in this whole crypto revolution. The landscape is changing constantly, and Ethereum is leading the charge.
It's exciting, isn't it?
It really is. It's a space that rewards those who are willing to learn, adapt, and take calculated risks.
Well said. And as always, we're here at CoinTalk Podcast to help you navigate this crazy world. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Ethereum, hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up.
Yes. And don't forget to leave a comment below and share this video with your friends. We love hearing from you guys and spreading the crypto knowledge.
So what does all this mean for you? The crypto market is a roller coaster, and Ethereum is no exception. But remember, volatility creates opportunity for everyone. The dip buyers are betting on Ethereum's long-term potential, and those innovations in scalability and development, they're setting the stage for a future where Ethereum could really dominate the decentralized world. Keep learning, stay curious, and maybe, just maybe, this dip could be your chance to ride the Ethereum wave. And that's a wrap for today's deep dive here on CoinTalk Podcast. Until next time, happy investing.